If you're like most business owners, you likely have 100 different tasks on your to-do list, a packed out schedule, and you're thinking, how the hell am I going to make time for all of this and make it home for dinner? Well, that used to be me as well until I built a simple system which not only changed how I manage my time, but allowed me to grow my business in around 4 hours a day. So in this video, I'm going to show you that system, how to build it so no matter how busy you are, you can make time for everything, and how you can use it to scale your business faster. So to start, I'm going to show you how to know what's worth making time for, because most business owners do every single task that's on their to-do list, and it quite literally ends up costing them money. In fact, this is something which cost me thousands of dollars, because a few years ago, when I first started creating content on YouTube, I was running my content ghostwriting agency and was really making YouTube videos for fun. They were more like self-improvement, general productivity stuff, but I would spend around 10 hours a week editing my videos. Then one day I was talking to a mate and he asked me who was editing my videos, and I said, me? Why? To which he said, because they're shite, which in that moment I just realized I had put so much time into systemizing my entire business, so I didn't do things that weren't worth my time, that were low leverage, but I was editing my own videos when I could have just paid someone to do it for me for, say, $20 an hour, and they would have done a much better job than me. So I went, screw this, and went through a few different editors over, say, 2 years till I found a good one, Rans, who is editing this now, but he's great. He edits the videos to a much higher standard than I ever could, which means instead of spending 10 hours a week doing a shit edit, I have those 10 hours a week to focus on the things that actually grow my business. See, as a business owner, your job isn't to work in the business, it's to work on the business. Your job is to create value. There are certain things you shouldn't even be trying to make time for. Like, think about it this way. If you spend 2 hours a day on $20 tasks instead of $1,000 tasks, you don't save $40. You lose $2,000 a day, which isn't good. So the first thing you need to do is figure out your hourly rate, then anything which can be delegated or outsourced for less than that, do it, okay? And then use the newfound time on things which are valuable and grow the business, because not everything deserves your time. Okay, next I'm going to show you how to see exactly what you're spending your time on, because most business owners are wasting hours every week, and it makes finding time for the things that matter so bloody hard. So to make time for everything that does matter, we need to remove wasted time, obviously. Not only will this give you back a few hours a week, but it'll make tasks and work more efficient due to less distractions. The way you do this is by auditing your time in 15-minute blocks for a week. So every hour you go and log what you did in that past hour in 15-minute blocks. And then you do that for an entire week. Then after the week is up, you want to analyze your time audit. Because what this time audit does is it shows you exactly where your time is going. Not where you think your time is going, but where your time is actually going, because there's often a big discrepancy there, and that's where inefficiencies and distractions lie that we would never have recognized. And so after the week, you want to audit your time, see where the inefficiencies are, what's wasting your time, what you're doing that's not worth doing, then come up with a solution to remove it. For example, if you get distracted, spend too much time on emails or Slack when you're meant to be doing important deep work, install Opal and set up schedules to automatically block them until set times. Or if you're doing some low value task that you shouldn't be doing, delegate it, okay? Now, there is a tool that I give to my clients in MOS to help them with this time audit, and it makes it really simple to do. So I'll leave a link in the description below for you to get it. Now, this next part of my system is going to show you what to do if you just have too many things to do every single day, because quite simply, most entrepreneurs have too many tasks on their to-do list and you can't possibly make time to do them all, okay? How you need to think about this is, imagine you had 24 storage units, but you had 30 things that you needed to store. Well, you don't have enough storage to keep everything, and there's not much you can do about it. So if you want to store the other 6 things, you have to either throw them out and choose not to store them, or you get someone else to store them in their storage units. It is the exact same thing with your time and your tasks. If you have 24 hours in the day and you have 30 tasks to do, which all take 1 hour, you don't have enough time in the day to do all those tasks. And sure, you can get more productive, so maybe a 1 hour task now takes 55 minutes, but there's only so much time you can save with efficiency increases. And so really what you have to do is decide how many hours you want to work. This is entirely up to you. You can work 12 hours a day, 4 hours a day, it's entirely your choice. Then see how many hours of work you have each day, and then eliminate or delegate the other tasks beyond those working hours. And that's all you can do, okay? So if you have 10 hours in the day to work, but you have 12 hours of work to do, you either have to choose to work more, eliminate the extra 2 hours of work, or you get someone else to do them by delegating the task to them, which in turn removes you as the bottleneck in your business because less things rely on you. And when you do this, make sure you document the process for doing the tasks that you delegate, because If a team member asks you, 5 questions a day, you're probably losing around an hour each day to answering questions, which you wouldn't lose if you documented the processes for them to follow. This is all obviously so much easier to do when you systemize your entire business, so click the link in the description below if you want to work with me to systemize your business in just 12 weeks. But most business owners fail here because they only do tasks when they find the time or when they remember to, which means you either say, yeah, I'll just do that tomorrow. That was the last time he ever thought about that task. Or you do it rushed and stressed because you're trying to squeeze it in. Now, if you excuse me, I need to do this right now. But when you do this next step, you structure the work that does matter in a way that makes it easy to find time for everything. See, in business, most of your tasks which are important are recurring, as in you do them every day or every week, and that means you can structure when you do them and you can structure them in a time-efficient way. So what you need to do here is write out every single task you do in the business, then assign that task to a day of the week or to every day depending on the task and when you need to do it and when you want to do it. This will give you structure and order, making it easier to make time for things, because now instead of trying to find time to make your content or to work on the next big project in your business, you already know when you're doing them, and now all you have to do is make time during the day for them. And this next part of the system is going to show you how to do that so that you can make time for everything every single day. And this really comes down to the fact that you cannot make time for everything if you don't try to make time for everything. Let me explain what I mean. So in the MOS, I had a client who was constantly struggling to find time for their marketing task. So on one of the calls, I just said to them, have you scheduled to do it? They said no. And so I said, well, of course you can't find the time for it if you're not making the time for it. And I get that this is simple, right? But that is the rule. If you want something done, you have to schedule to do it. If you're a busy person, you can't expect to randomly find time to do everything. You have to put effort into making time for them. And the best way to do this is to plan your days the night before. So take 5 minutes, list out everything you need to do tomorrow based on your standard week and any other one-off tasks, then assign each task to a block of time. I recommend hourly blocks, but you can do 30-minute blocks, it's up to you. This way though, you figured out what you need to make time for, you've removed inefficiencies, and you're consciously deciding when to make time for everything by assigning everything to a block of time. And then you can repeat the process over time by delegating and removing inefficiencies so that your business relies less on you and you can focus more on working on the business rather than working in it. And now you have the skills necessary to make time for everything and anything. But of course, this will not work if you can't delegate the tasks that don't matter to take them off your plate. So click the video on screen now and I'll walk you through my foolproof delegation system.